handling a lot of this stuff with the Amy Barrett nomination coming up, the full Senate. He is the majority whip there. So, Senator, always good to have you. Thank you for coming in on Saturday. I know you guys are working.
Thanks, Neil.
Today. I was talking to your colleague just before Senator Casey. I was talking to Senator Coney of Texas earlier. You are working today, and is it to get ready for the Barrett nomination? Is it to counter Democratic moves to either push that vote back or do something to blunt it? What?
Well, kind of all of the above, actually. But I mean, mainly the reason we're here is so that Democrats can continue to protest. We had a series of procedural votes yesterday. They're trying to do everything they can to delay or block her nomination, and the Senate is in session this weekend. We are setting up for a vote tomorrow at 1 o'clock. It's what we call a cloture vote. It's a procedural vote. As long as we have every Republican here and available, we'll win that, and that will set up a final vote on Judge Barrett's nomination for Monday evening. But under the Senate rules, there are 30 hours of post-cloture debate. We expect the Democrats to use all those hours so that they can continue to demonstrate to their supporters out there that they're protesting this and doing everything they can to stop it. And that's essentially what we're doing today. They're going to come up with what we call live unanimous consent requests on the floor. We have to have somebody there to object to those. They'll be making speeches throughout the day, and both today and tomorrow. But right now, we're on a glide path to get to this vote sometime Monday evening, presumably, unless they yield time back. And we are going to confirm her as a justice to the Supreme Court, and that is a very exciting thing for the court and for this country.
Senator, do you know that, in fact, all 53 Republican senators will be there for the vote and will vote for the judge?
We will have, I hope, everybody there. That's the key is making sure that that we have a full attendance for a big vote like this. We may not have all 53, but we'll have enough to confirm her. We need 51 votes out of the 53 Republicans. And, obviously, there are a couple of our folks who are continuing to evaluate and look at her record. But in the end, we're fully confident that when Monday rolls around, we're going to have the necessary votes to confirm her to the court. And everybody who meets her, Neil, including her opponents, the Democrats, can't help but walk away impressed with her qualifications. There is no question about that. The Democrats obviously are very dug in on this over what they feel are process issues and obviously ideology issues, but she has demonstrated that she's not somebody who's going to bring an ideology to the bench. She's somebody who is going to take the law, the Constitution, the facts, and as they are written, and apply them in an impartial way. And that's exactly what we want to see in a justice on the Supreme Court.
You'll be stunned to hear that many Democrats don't believe that. But Senator, I'd be curious, is the vice president going to be around? I don't even know why I say just in case, but I guess just in case.
Right. I mean, the vice president obviously is the president of the Senate, and if there is a tie, would cast a deciding vote. Yes, presumably he will be available if necessary. I don't anticipate that we will need him, but we don't want to leave anything to chance here. This is a really important vote, one of the most consequential things that the United States Senate does, and we expect to carry out that duty and that responsibility here in the next couple of days.
It's safe to say still that just as in the Judiciary Committee itself, no Democrats will be participating, no Democrats will be voting on Monday. That would be an historic first by either party, just snubbing a nomination altogether. Is that still likely the case?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the case. They're under so much pressure from their leadership right now. This has become unfortunately, the Democrats have really politicized the court by their tactics and what they've done, not showing up at the Judiciary Committee where her nomination was reported out, not showing up yesterday on the floor when it was called up. They're doing everything they can to protest this. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of Democrats look at the court as an auxiliary legislature where they can try and get policy outcomes and results that they can't get through the two political branches of our government. And that's not what the court is about. And Judge Barrett represents what we believe the court should be about, and that is a constitutionalist and somebody who is going to, in an impartial way, apply the law and the Constitution. And so clearly they're sore about this. They're not happy about it. It's unfortunate it's come to this because it used to be that these nominations were about qualifications. In the last 30 years, the Democrats have consistently changed the rules going back to the Bork nomination. all the judges they tried to block when George Bush was president of the United States. And that's kind of permanently changed the atmospherics around here when it comes to processing judicial nominations. But that can't stop us from carrying out our constitutional responsibility of advice and consent here in the Senate. And we're going to carry that out today, tomorrow, and on Monday.
Senator, you've been very patient. I know you got to get back to work here. On stimulus, it looks dead to me. It's not happening. Am I right?
I think that's a fair bet. They're still talking, but the idea that we could even mechanically process it and get it across the Senate floor between now and the election becomes increasingly remote as each day passes. The House would have to be called back in. They got to write the language. We'd have to follow all the procedural, deal with the procedural hurdles that we would have to deal with in the Senate. But my view on that, Neil, is it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. This will get done. We know we have to do more. We just think it ought to be targeted. It ought to be fiscally responsible. It shouldn't be this all or nothing approach that Nancy Pelosi is proposing, which is you do it my way or the highway, and it's way too much money. It's spending money on things that are unrelated to the coronavirus. We believe we need to do more to help businesses out there, and we've actually voted in the Senate now several times on legislation that would do just that would provide unemployment insurance, help for businesses, help for schools that are continuing to open up safely, supporting resources for vaccines and therapeutics and testing, money for the post office, money for farmers. I mean, we've moved a bill on the floor now twice in the Senate, but the Democrats have blocked it. So in the end, when the smoke clears after the election, hopefully we can sit down and people can, in good faith, start to compromise. But right now, my impression is that the House Democrats and Speaker Pelosi would much rather have the issue than they would have a solution. And we want a solution.
All right, Senator John Thune, very good catching up with you. Be healthy, be well, safe. We'll see how these next